It wasn't a super exciting day in the markets today. We do have non-farm payroll tomorrow, which I know the Fed is watching really closely. But I did get a few hits in, and I'll cover my favorite trade. This did end up being covered on my personal stream if you want to go back and watch the longer version. But basically, this whole idea was I had identified this level on the ES futures of 64.60, and I was watching this really hard. I wanted to see if this level could potentially hold if we had to move lower. And sure enough, we got it. But it was a little weird. So I was a little nervous at first because we had these first two green candles and both the NASDAQ and the ES were synced. Love that. Then that fell apart. The ES started consolidating real hard here and NASDAQ was walking down. Don't love that. But sure enough, we came down to the 46.60 level and that started to change. We started to have these candles start to sync up. We had a little doji guy and then green guys, they started lining up. Love that. So that caught my eye. At the same time, I went ahead and looked over at the VIX, and this is where the VIX was at that time when the markets were being kind of weird. We're in this area here. This is a 15-minute chart. That was the 5-minute I showed you earlier. But as soon as we started bouncing off that 46.60, that key level that I was watching, I called it out on my funded stream this morning as well as in the Discord as being a level that we could create a launch pad off of. So sure enough, when this consolidation started to break to the downside on VIX should have a reverse correlation with the index markets, and I started to get that bounce. I ended up taking it on NASDAQ and ES. The NASDAQ trade is the one that's more covered in the stream, so I'll start with that one. But I ended up getting in around VWAP. It was a little bit late, but I was really waiting for that confirmation on VIX. It was easy enough to put the stop on that previous candle because if we ended up rejecting VWAP, that would have been where I was out. And I was targeting the high, so I had plenty of meat on the bone on this trade. It did end up taking a long time for this to end up hitting. We were waiting for this on the stream. It was all the way over here. Did end up hitting. The ES1 did not get covered as well on the stream, and that's because I traded it a little bit differently. On the NASDAQ one, I had a one lot, and on this one, I was scaling out, so it was a little bit different. But it was the same kind of entry I entered around VWAP when we really started to have all the markets sync up, and I had a lot of good confidence in this level, and I had some things that I could target. So I targeted these highs on ES. That got me out of most of my position pretty early, and then I was just looking to trail, hopefully to 64.80. I was trailing when we got up near that level, and I did end up getting stopped out in profit up here. But that was kind of the trade of the day. We have non-farm payroll tomorrow. The Fed is watching that like a hawk to make sure that they're making the right decision on all of these interest rates. So hopefully we'll get some excitement tomorrow. And if you want to join me, I will be on my funded TV and in the Trading Ranch Discord. I would love to trade with you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.